Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I honestly don't know how to begin today's video, but I will try to speak as concisely as possible and just speak from my own experience how trying to conceive or waiting to conceive has been for me and a lot of women as well. I'll be speaking from a trying to conceive angle, but it could apply to any waiting period at all. It could be marriage, waiting to get married. It could be waiting for a job, waiting for a miracle, financial breakthrough. Any waiting season, honestly, is very, very hard. But my experience has been in trying to conceive, and that's the angle that I'm going to be speaking from. You never really understand like all of this weight. Like for example, I never was eager to like get into marriage wasn't something that I desired very heavily. I didn't have like pressure to get married at all, so I never really understood why people were so eager to want to get married like it's a very big cup that they must win in this life. I never understood that, but now it's kind of funny because sometimes we don't understand the desires that people want until we are in their shoes. People who probably have kids are wondering, what is this thing about having kids? These children really stress me like this. I'm looking for where to pack them to. Some people who are struggling financially to raise a family will tell you like there's nothing in it. It's just a lot of suffering and sacrifice and stuff. But you that want it and don't have it, there's this desire that you have that you can't even explain, and it's just such an eye-opening space to be in, which taught me like a very big lesson, which is that unless you are in somebody's shoes, you really don't understand what they are going through. Like, you don't understand it. I feel like I've been rambling, but I know that I'm making sense with the things I'm saying. But let's just start from the beginning so that this makes sense, especially if you are visiting this channel for the first time. Please don't be a visitor. If you are seeing my face for the first time, if this is the first time that you're watching any video of mine, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I share really valuable lifestyle related topics. I love beauty, I love books. What else do I love? I love food, and I try to share bits and pieces of the things that I like here on my channel in the hopes that other people will like it too. So if you think that you might like the sort of content that I create, or you just like me and my beautiful face, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And to all my returning subscribers, you guys already know what it is. It's all love, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming back, for supporting me. I really appreciate every single one of you. So a bit of background story. I got married in 2020, at the end of 2020, and we decided to wait a year to start having kids. Waited a year. Then in 2021, sometime in 2021, I found out that I was pregnant. We were so overjoyed and everything. And then shortly after that, I found out that the pregnancy was coexisting with fibroids. So the whole journey was a roller coaster. I ended up having my baby premature. Unfortunately, he died after 5 days. I had to go through that, recover both physically and emotionally, go through postpartum without a baby. And then I started treating my fibroids, and I had them surgically removed, had to recover from that. And then there's a period where you have to wait so that your uterus heals completely before you take in. So we did that wait, and then we started trying to have a baby again. And God, I didn't even know how to describe it. It has just been a journey. I didn't know it was going to be this hard, and I'm not referring to like the trying to conceive part. I'm referring to like all of the emotions that come with that, like with every single passing moment, with every single passing circle, with every single passing month. There's just this pressure. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. every month that it doesn't happen, you begin to worry. Every month that it doesn't happen, you begin to worry, and it keeps getting worse. It doesn't it doesn't get better. It keeps getting worse, and unfortunately sometimes it affects like other parts of your life as well, and that's just so sad. And there's honestly nothing that you can do about it, because it's your reality. You are living it every single day, you are living it every single circle. There's just that constant reminder, and because it's something that you are working towards, something that you are hoping will happen, there's this hope that builds, and then your period comes and everything just crashes, and you just feel this deep sense of sadness, and it's just like, God, why? Like why? Then you have to build yourself up again, have that hope and that faith that it will happen when it happens, and then you start the process again, only to have your hope crushed, and then you begin. So it's like a very tiring process. And because you cannot necessarily stop, especially like if you are in an active trying phase, they ask you to like do that for 1 year at least, so that you can establish whether there is like a problem that you would now have to start seeking medical attention for. So you need to put in the effort to like establish whether you're okay or not before you now start going to look for solution. So you cannot necessarily stop. I know that people who have tried for years can now, they can say they will take a break and try again, or just to remove their mind off things because it's been a while. But if you are still in that like early stages, 1 year period, a year and 6 months period, where like it's just hard at every stage of it. I think it's hard, but I haven't been at it for a very long time, so again my experience has been in that short 6 months, 1 year period, and it's just torture, pure torture. Desiring something that you cannot will into existence, something that you cannot make happen, is very hard, and that's like the position that a lot of women find themselves in. Trying to conceive is a very lonely place to be, because only you know what you are going through. Nobody else understands it unless they are going through it firsthand. The emotions that I can compare it to is grief. That's like something that's close to it, because like when somebody dies, people can sympathize. Everybody sort of pictures or tries to imagine what it would feel like for the people who have lost the person that died, but only those people who are directly related, mother, father, maybe siblings, not even extended family, like people who are directly related to these people, know the depth of what they've lost. Only them understand like the depth of the emotions. They are the ones that would go on living without that person every single day, depending on what role that person plays in their life. There's this constant reminder that they are no longer there. So that's like, it can be close to that. People from outside looking in will try to imagine and sympathize and feel pity, which I hate, about the situation, but they don't understand it. Only you people that are going through it know what is really going on with you. Outside of how lonely trying to conceive can be, it can also be very depressing. That feeling that everything is working against you. Like, why is this not happening for me? Why is my own situation different? Like, why? You just keep asking yourself why, especially if you've been medically cleared, like there's nothing wrong with you and it's just not happening. You begin to wonder, then what is the problem? Like, why is this thing not happening for me? And that intense like sadness just puts you in a very depressive mode, that you begin to feel like there is just a cloud over you that is causing only bad things to happen to you. Because this one good thing is not happening for you, it means that like every other thing in your life is bad, and you begin to project that emotion to other things as well. If you are not very careful, you begin to like move sadly. Like when people see you, they know that you are going through something, and that's like a very horrible situation to be in. It's a different thing when people look at you and feel pity for you. It's another thing when you pity yourself. It's like when you are in despair and you pity yourself, it means like you've lost hope and you're just moving in that direction. Directly or indirectly, you begin to attract that sort of things to yourself, and then before you know it, you notice that you have surrounded yourself with pity, both with like people, environment, and then all of you are wallowing in your sorrow. It's just such a bad place to be in when you feel inadequate about yourself. It's just bad, because like at the end of the day, you are the one that has to help yourself. So if you feel within yourself that there is no hope, then there really is no hope for you, because nobody is going to come and save you. You have to find a way to remove yourself from the pit that you've dug yourself into. That self-despair is a no, very horrible situation to be in. If you find yourself beginning to fall into that kind of situation or are in that situation, I'm sorry, but you have to be strong. At the end of the day, you have to be strong. Nobody can do for you what you need to do for yourself. The power to bring yourself out of that situation lies within you. The power nobody can make you happy unless you decide in yourself that you want to be happy. So you have to look for a way to keep on living a full and fulfilled life until what you desire happens for you. One thing that's kept me going is to continue to remind myself that there is nothing wrong with me. I try not to, in fact, I don't blame myself, because I know that I am fine and there is nothing that I can do or not do to fast forward the plan that God has for us. So that I just have to keep reminding myself that like the power to make that happen is not within me. I just have to keep on living my life and not dwell so much on it, which is very, very difficult. I remember having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was trying to explain to her like the emotions I was feeling at the time and how my mind is just so occupied with this thing. And she was like, can you not just like take your mind off it, focus on other things, and just try to live? And my response to her was like, it's very difficult, and I don't think that it is possible, because like until it happens, it's just something that you keep experiencing, that hope building up, crashing, hope building up, crashing, because it happens month after month after month. So you cannot just remove your mind from it. There's like this constant reminder. So I know firsthand how difficult it is, but I also know that if you are not careful, you get to a point of no return that will just make your situation even worse than it currently is. At a point in my journey, I started to get triggered by very unrelated things, because I had so occupied my mind with this thing. It was all I was thinking about. Any little thing that happens just brings my mind back to that. For example, when family or friends call and they are like, how are you doing? They just keep asking all those small talk sort of questions. I just feel like every single time that they're calling me and asking me how am I doing and how is this and how is that, they're just waiting to hear news that I don't have for them. So every single time that somebody calls me, especially like people who are close to me and know what the situation is, and then they keep asking me questions, I just feel like they're waiting for me to get to the point that I don't have. So like it's just such a weird situation to be in. The emotions that you feel are a lot. They honestly are a lot. If you are watching this video and you still make comments about people's bodies, situation, marriage, singleness, like whatever it is that are like sensitive sort of things, and you just make snide comments, or like you keep, for example, people who are married, you ask them when they will have kids. Somebody who's not married, you ask them when are they getting married, or like all those very silly nonsense, none of your business questions that you ask. If you still do that, I don't know, at this point I just think that it is not ignorance, like it is just bad behavior, because like If you're on social media, if you have access to this video, then you must have seen people say it all the time. These things are not things that you ask people. You don't comment about people's weight. You don't comment about them being pregnant or not being pregnant, adding to their family or not adding to their family, when they are getting married. You don't comment about things like that. They are very sensitive topics that you don't comment about. And I know that people would say, hey, it's just a normal question, because for some people they don't find any offense to it. But you don't know everybody's journey. You don't know what people who are passing through emotionally. So keep your comments to yourself. If you see things like that, you congratulate people and move on. You don't need to be the one they announce the news to. The fact that they didn't even tell you means like they don't want you to know. So why are you asking? So let's just assume that you've never heard somebody say it before. Maybe this is now your clue to know that those things are offensive. Stop asking people about stuff like that, because it could be triggering, and you don't want to be the reason why somebody goes through emotional turmoil or carry emotional baggage all their lives, because these are the things that stick. These are the things that cause trauma. People live with and through these things for the entirety of their life, because they are part of what form people character. So you don't want to be a negative baggage that somebody is carrying all through their life. It's not good. It's not a good look at all. And to all my trying to conceive mamas who are watching this video, hello, you are not alone. Surround yourself with the support that you need. It could be from your friends, it could be from your families, it could be from even social media, if you are comfortable sharing your story like to strangers or publicly like that. You could find help on social media. I know that there are a lot of trying to conceive women who are sharing their stories, even men who are sharing their stories publicly on social media, and they have communities of other women who are in the same group, and they share emotional and medical advice as well, things to help you go through day to day without feeling so alone. So find the support that you need. I know that it is not easy. One thing I was going to say was like you should try as much as possible to like live a full life, whether or not it happens for you. But I know firsthand that is not like an easy advice to take. It's very, very difficult. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing that you can do about it, and you would not use because of this one thing that is not happening at the moment to live like a miserable life. I think that if you do that, when it eventually happens, you will look back at all the years that you wasted worrying about this beautiful thing that will eventually happen. So try as much as possible to like find joy in your day-to-day life. Live joyful, live fully, be happy. Don't allow the fact that it's not happening now rule your life. You can live a full, fulfilled life while you wait. If you have any other advice that worked for you, share it in the comment section. I will be waiting to read, and I know that there are other people who are waiting as well and would want to learn from other people's experience. So let's talk in the comment section. I hope that this video has not been too sad. At least I tried as much as possible to not make it like very depressing. I hope that I achieved that, and I hope that you enjoyed watching and you learned one or two things. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video.